Welcome to episode 1 of the Graveyard Media Podcast.
We've had a lot of episode 1s.
This week was E3, so we're going to be talking about that mostly.
Yeah.
I'm the host, Sane Gray. With me today is Dawson.
It's me.
And Thel.
Good morning.
You're being a weirdo, Thel.
Yeah.
What do we come to expect?
That's how.
So what's first on the agenda for today?
Well, First we're going to start off with games and movies we've seen play this week. Played and seen, respectively. And then we'll move into E3.
I'll go last because I can segue into E3 with mine.
Why don't you start then, Dawson?
Oh, geez. What have I been playing this week? So let's see. I tried out this game called Mid Boss. It's a small indie roguelike. It's pretty fun. So the whole concept is you're an imp, and you have the ability to possess the monsters in the dungeon that you kill. So as you kind of go along and possess new monsters, when you kill things as that monster, you level up both yourself, your true imp form, and you level up that monster. And as that monster levels up, you gain access to new abilities, which you can then equip those abilities to your imp form. So it's pretty neat.
I looked at this game a little bit. How much meta progression does it have? Is it primarily like a roguelike?
There's none. There's zero meta progression. You die and you start from scratch.
Okay.
It's like true roguelike style.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was curious about that.
Yeah.
You've been playing Fallout again too, right?
Yeah, I've been playing Fallout a lot recently. The main thing about that, I downloaded this mod that lets you start somewhere outside of Vault 111. Like, you still go through the character creation, but then it gives you three options. Like, this is a dream and I woke up somewhere else, and that will let you just have a complete alternate start. This is a memory. And if you choose this as a memory, you play the normal game. You play as Bethesda's character Nate, and you're looking for Sean, but it lets you start outside of Vault 111, so you don't have to go through that whole fucking intro. Or then this is happening now, and it's the real intro, and you get to play the whole intro. So it doesn't it doesn't change the beginning. You can still play it however you want, but you can also... The important one is if you choose this is a dream, you create your character just with the face creator, and then you choose that it's a dream, and it will let you pick where you went to sleep to have this dream, where what you were. So I picked that I went and slept in an underground bunker, which just spawned me in some random bunker somewhere.
So is it just like an alternate start mod? Or?
Yeah, it's an alternate start mod, basically. Yes. It the two cool things it does is it adds Fallout New Vegas's perks back into the game. So plus agility but minus bone fragility or something, those kind of deals. The other really cool thing that it does is he went through every dialogue in the game and removed mentions to Sean. So
the purpose of that?
The purpose of that is because you are not the idea is that you aren't Nate. You are not the character that lost Sean and Nora died, and you're not that person. You're a different person.
Mm-hmm.
And so what the mod does is when you first visit Vault 111, you find the dead body of Nate. Nate I'm referring to as the base game's main character.
Right.
You find Nate's body. And he has an audio transcript on him that you just listen to the beginning of the game, where he's pounding on the glass and what's his Cabell or whatever the fuck his name is, steals and shoots. Yeah, you just listen to that audio recording, and then you get a quest that tells you to try to track down the kidnapped child. So it's based that starts you back on the main quest anyway. It's the exact same thing, but
so it just recontextualizes the beginning so that
yes,
it makes
and
less
also
sense that you're just wandering around looking for your kid, but also doing a million other things.
Mm-hmm. It's like you're not looking for you aren't like on this pressing quest to find your missing baby boy. You're just like you heard about a kidnapped child. Maybe that's something you should look into.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes through and edits dialogue so that you don't have the option to ask, please, I'm looking for my son. Do you know where he is? Instead, it'll just have like a different dialogue that he ripped from somewhere else in the game.
Right. Okay.
But I mean, like once you find out more about Sean, you're able to ask about Sean, but you never in the context that he's your son and you're looking for him. Just like anything that's in the context that you're looking for a missing child.
Okay, that actually sounds pretty good.
It's pretty neat because like it's like such a minor change in details, but it makes the role playing aspect of the game feel much better.
That's cool.
Just because you don't have to go on Todd Howard's journey.
Exactly.
You go on your own.
On your own journey, which is exactly the same, but recontextualized.
You don't have to play Skyrim again. You don't
It's
have to. You don't have to. You don't have to buy it again.
But,
I'm talking to you.
No, but you do though.
So-
you have to buy Skyrim again.
I have to buy Skyrim
You can play forever.
I have to buy Skyrim
So
again.
is it-
You can
It's
buy.
an
Is
quest.
that primarily the only mod that you've been using, or have you been
Um,
using other stuff too?
I've been using some other mods, like the basic ones that everybody gets at this point, like Armor Smith Extended. It kind of lets you. It just has a bunch more options for armor. It lets you equip shit over outfits. Like I can wear a suit with leather armor over it instead of
Right.
of having the option of road leathers and vault jumpsuit to have customizable armor in. It lets you customize any armor basically.
I bounced off of Fallout 4 really fast, faster than
Yeah.
basically any other Bethesda game I've ever played. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. It's probably just because it's been a busy year with lots of games, but
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know.
that came out like 2 years ago.
did it? Well, I must have
Yeah.
been busy at the time. I don't know.
Well, 2 years ago, technically at the end of the year, but yeah.
Then
Either way,
I guess honorable mention for game I've been playing. I've been playing a little bit of Ark Survival Evolved just because they added griffins into the game. In a
you
new
picked
map.
up Ark again.
The new map is like 4 times the size of the old map. The problem is my friends invited me to their private server that they have a bunch of mods running on, and I'm not convinced that I really like the mods. They kind of like, I don't know, they make the dinosaurs from the base game feel really stupid and shitty and worthless, and then they just add a bunch of really strong OP ass fucking dinosaurs.
Huh.
I don't know. It's not very fun, and I keep telling them that I don't like it, but they keep trying to get me to. They keep encouraging me to play it, and I am just because I want to build a herd of griffins.
You want to be the Griffin Man on the mountaintop.
Yeah, exactly. Also, the mods don't touch griffins yet because they're brand new and it hasn't been updated, which is really disappointing to me. Because I could have super
thought
strong griffins.
about trying Ark again, but it just felt so buggy last time I played that I at this point I'd be more interested in just waiting for it to come out, but
It comes out in August.
okay.
It's out of early access in August.
Wow.
Hopefully they'll
Really?
it'll be less buggy when it actually finally comes out, but we'll see.
It's actually finally, after at least one
After so long.
DLC, it's finally coming out.
Yeah. Well, you know. Ugh.
Anything else?
Oh yeah. Also, no, nothing else that I've been playing.
How about you, Thel?
You go first. Again, I have something that I can segue in.
He wants to segue into.
Well,
E3.
the only game I've really played this last week is something that we've all been playing. So I was thinking that I would go last just because it doesn't make sense for.
Okay.
I mean, unless you just want to jump into Battlegrounds, because.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's just do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
So PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, huh?
Yeah, this game
It's
that
a video
nobody's
game.
heard of that totally isn't
We
the
are-
number one played game
Yeah,
on
it's
Twitch
totally
right now.
under fucking ground.
Yeah, nobody's
Really
ever heard
late
of
to the
it.
party.
Really late. Yeah.
But I mean, it's fun. It's really amazing. I always enjoyed DayZ. I mean, for a while. I didn't always enjoy DayZ.
Enjoyed.
I enjoyed DayZ for a while because the fun parts was driving around in a fucking car with one of your buddies and just like finding loot and shit. And like maybe if you encounter another player, maybe you kill them, maybe they kill you. Like That was the only fun part. It wasn't fun to like log out and come back the next day and find out that somebody had led a bunch of zombies to wherever you were
Yeah,
hiding.
I've been relatively interested in a lot of the survival kind of games, but my problem with them has always been it takes so long to get anywhere, and then you can lose everything while you're logged off.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really sound
It sucks.
that appealing for the most part. But the
Also,
nice
they
thing about
basically stopped
PlayerUnknown
developing.
Battlegrounds is that all of the rounds are super short, so it's like, well, relatively short.
Yeah, like
so
between 1 minute and 45 minutes,
yeah, like an hour,
depending on how long you last.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they totally streamlined all the stuff that was fun about those games, and made a game out of it, and it's great. I love it. It's so much fun.
And I still think there's something to say about DayZ. But the problem with DayZ isn't necessarily that the game itself is unfun. It's just that they've stopped fucking developing it. Like, it's been you want to talk about Ark finally coming out? DayZ has been in early access for like 6 years. The only thing that's longer than DayZ is probably Overgrowth at this point, and that's barely a game.
Oh yeah.
Well, have they stopped completely on it? Like, because I know.
No, I think they came out with an update like 6 months ago.
What about Cube World?
Oh yeah, Cube. Okay, Cube World. Cube World's a mess.
I remember Cube World.
I don't.
Whoa,
neither does Wooly.
Well.
Cube World is not his fault, though. He was being pushed and pushed and pushed to release it, and he was like, guys, I'm not going to release this. If I release it, I'm going to take the money and run because I won't have any motivation to work on anymore. And then he got pushed for another 2 years to release it, and he released it. And then he took the money and ran because he didn't have any motivation to work on it anymore. It's exactly what he said he would do.
Yeah, well, it's still a little his fault. A little bit.
Well, yeah, but it's not like he didn't give a fair warning.
Well,
I'm going to
but
basically fuck
there's
you all
probably
over.
plenty of people who didn't know that he said that.
True.
When they purchased it, but that's whatever.
Yeah, well, you know.
You've been playing Shadow of Mordor, right?
Yes. That's kind of the first one I want to start on, just because of the fact that actually, no, all of the games that I've been playing are, like, at least tangentially related to E3, because I've been playing games that are, like, oh, a sequel was announced at E3, I never played that fucking game, I should play that fucking game. So I did.
Yeah.
Shadow of Mordor was one of them, because there was a new game released, announced at E3, and, well, not announced, it was shown off, and it was fun, and I was really, really pensive about Shadow of Mordor, because it looked like it was someone's Aragorn OC, which, you know, is...
I mean, you're not
and
wrong.
I'm like,
he is.
Here's the thing. I'm like this. I fucking love Tolkien lore, and I didn't want it to fucking break it. So I was like, nah, fuck it. I was expecting. So we brought in this, you know, really underground villain that we could have, like just some background guy that was in
the
like,
Black Hand of Sauron.
No. We got a better idea. This guy's in like some sort of book that Tolkien wrote, or like his son wrote, or some bullshit like that. His name is Morgoth. He's this sort of underground guy that we can sort of just throw in there, have him be like a guy who's like under Sauron or some shit. That's what I thought they were gonna do. Basically, everything they've done isn't like implausible, I guess. It's very self-contained, and I do like that.
Yeah,
and
nothing directly conflicts with the lore.
But really, it's a fun fucking game to play, and I like playing it.
Really
I don't like with a lot of games like this that have like a bunch of different ways that you can do things. Like you can do all of this. It's like I just want to do it like this and like no other fucking way. I like getting stealth kills. I feel like I can just charge in there sometimes and just fucking murder a bunch of dudes with the bam ham combat, or I can just fucking stealth kill motherfuckers. Like jump up on a ledge and shoot people with an arrow or sneak up behind them, and it's all equally effective. And I really like that. I haven't played a game like this in a very long time. Shit, it works. It just works.
Yeah.
Take note,
it
Todd.
sounds like they're really doubling down on a lot of the concepts that they had in the sequel. Rather is doubling down on a lot of the concepts they had in the first game. They're taking the Nemesis system a little bit farther, rather than just influencing characters. They're gonna have it influence like regions and areas in the game.
Yeah,
So
which
I'm
is
pretty
cool.
excited for
We
Shadow of War.
probably should touch more on that when we get to that section, though.
Another game I've been playing. Playing a lot of Metroid Prime. My girl
Because
back.
Nintendo announced
That's a
the
big
number 4. The number 4.
That's all I needed, man. I just needed
all
some...
in the name of Metroid Federation 4s.
I'm gonna fucking shut the
That's
fuck
what's
up.
coming.
Shut the fuck up. It said Metroid Prime to play the fucking Metroid Prime music, so you shut
It's
your
funny
fucking
because
bullshit mouth.
it sounded like they just announced that they're developing it. It's not even like...
Man, that's all I needed. I just needed something. Nintendo fucking forgot her 25th birthday. They forgot her fucking 20th birthday. That elf Shota got like 2 goddamn things. I'm still pissed about that. Fuck that shit. My girl Samus deserves better than that. And she's finally getting it. I'm so happy. Thanks, Nintendo. I'm glad you're coming back. I'm fucking glad you're coming back. Oh.
Yeah, I've been happy with a lot of the way that the Switch has been going overall.
Yeah. And one of the things that I'm really remembering about like Metroid Prime, and it was like the last time we played it, which was years ago. Goddamn, does that game do environmental storytelling really good? Like the whole scan visor shit. Oh, very, very good shit. Beautiful shit. I love it. I love everything about that game. Sound design especially. That was another big thing I noticed. This game has such very distinct and noticeable sounds that like you could just play the audio track and I would know exactly what was fucking happening.
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
Yeah. Sound
Beautiful.
design is really important in video games.
Yeah, Battleborn.
Yeah.
Fuck. But yeah,
we touched on
that's
that
right.
one last week.
That's right. We did try out Battleborn again.
did we touch on? No, I don't think we did.
No, we did. We did.
Yeah,
talk
we never
about
talked
it.
about that.
No, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure we
I
did.
don't think we did. Hey, fuck it, let's talk about it again. Battleborn
Okay.
was battle bad.
Yeah, it was just a cluttered mess.
You know, I went into the game really wanting to like it,
Me
but
too.
I thought
wanted
that
to
the
enjoy
visual
it.
design and the sound design was just so bad. Like, and I don't want to harp on just how bad I thought it was, but like
There weren't many redeeming.
it was
qualities
hard to
it.
tell what was happening. It was hard to tell, like, hear what was happening. Even sound cues and stuff for other people using abilities. Like, there was so much random explosions and stuff going on at all times that it was so hard to really get a reading on what other characters were even doing.
You know, whenever you play a character-based game, there's always going to be some like learning curve as to what things are.
Right.
But in like every other character-based game, things are like usually thematically linked to the character. Like there's this one character who is a robot and he's a sniper, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you would think that the things he does would be like sniper rifle things, but no.
Or possibly robot things.
Or possibly robot things. One
Like
of his
little
abilities
robot buddy.
allows him to go and place a mechanical owl that will peck your eyes out if you get near it, which, I mean, thematically, it's kind of like it scouts people out. It marks them on the map
and
for
owls
you.
are steam.
Yeah, and the owls, so
That one
the
was-
owls
yeah.
do look visually like him. The other one lets him place a time distortion bubble, which is basically looks like you ever looked over the top of a barbecue and it gets that hazy
that
nonsense
phase,
going? Like that's all it looks like. It's just a bubble. And like for the
if
first
you look
like
at the ground, there
25
is like a
games
little,
we played, we had no idea who was doing that.
Yeah,
Or
well,
what it
Donaldson,
was.
in the robot's lore, it's true that he's like a time traveler,
plus
so
it
like
just
that makes
turned
sense.
everyone purple.
Yeah, also it turned everyone
It
purple.
looked like all buffs and debuffs just turned you purple. which-
Yeah, everything turned everyone purple.
So I could never tell if things were buffed or nerfed or like
yeah.
if
exactly.
you were had a positive or negative effect. It's just, I don't know. It was a mess. I really wanted to like it. It looked like it could have been good, but there was just too much visual and sound clutter.
Yeah.
It was really
Well,
sad.
I just didn't have fun playing it or learning the characters or learning what the characters did. Unlike, a game like fucking Overwatch, and we've been playing a lot of Heroes of the Storm recently. It's like, I enjoy like learning about.
You
like,
don't
the
even like
characters.
that genre of video.
Yeah, I don't
at
fucking
all.
like MOBAs at all.
And you
Shit.
you enjoy Heroes of the
Yeah, I
Storm.
play the fuck out
Partially
of Heroes of
probably
the Storm.
because you already know some of the characters in it.
Maybe. Yeah.
That
I can
might
play
be
as
that might have to be
Diablo
part of
2.
it. Yeah, you can be Diablo 2.
Okay, so I have been playing another game by have been playing, I mean played it a little bit last night and got through the first mission. And this is another thing that goes directly into E3. I played Wolfenstein the new order. The new order, not the new
Yeah,
machine. The new one.
The new Colossus is going to be the new one.
Yeah. The new. I played Wolfenstein the new. So with Wolfenstein the New, one of the things that you can do is it also does definitely have like a little bit of the stealth gameplay. You know, I went through like it was sort of the tutorial, a really long mission. It took like half an hour.
Have you just to clarify? Have you gotten to the choice yet?
Okay. Got past that.
Is that where you stopped or?
No, I stopped like right after, right when I got to the mental hospital. So what happened was it does have like a little bit of stealth stuff. What you can do is you can also like use your gun, aim down your sights, and sort of snipe people off from a distance. You have all of these choices of all the things you can do. Make sure like people don't raise the alarm. Take down people quietly. But why would you do any of that? Because you can dual wield fucking assault rifles and just mow the fuck through people.
It is a Wolfenstein game.
Yeah, and it's a million times more. It just works better. Just
works.
Yeah. My issue with the stealth in the New Order, it was very minimal. Like, basically it amounted to you could kill maybe 2 or 3 people before everyone else started shooting at you.
Yeah.
Even then, it felt like most of the time it was just better to run around with shotgun, dual wielding shotguns or dual wielding assault rifles.
I'm playing on one of the hardest difficulties because I love this kind of game and I love it when it's really hard and kicks my ass. It's just sounding the alarms like good. More men for me to fucking mow down. Bring me the Nazis.
I will warn you, there are a couple places where they spawn infinitely. So beware of that.
Good.
Yeah, so I really liked Wolfenstein: The New Order. I also played it on hard.
I'm not playing it on the hardest difficulty. I'm playing it on the fucking second hardest.
Yeah, I played the one under the hardest difficulty.
I feel like I should play it on the hardest difficulty.
I want to say it's just called hard, but I think they're named.
No, they're named funny. It's
like
Daddy Can I Play?
Yeah, it's like true.
Hurt Me Plenty, I think, is the hardest.
Yeah, I think. Okay, yeah, I think I'm playing on Hurt Me then.
But yeah, I think like when I played Doom, I played it on the second hardest difficulty, and I was thinking about the entire one. I'm gonna have to make another run through this game on the hardest difficulty because I'm dying a lot, but I could be dying more.
I feel like
played Doom.
I feel like Doom was harder than Wolfenstein because I was playing on normal, and I thought it was harder than I had with Wolfenstein. I mean, Wolfenstein, I got stuck in a couple of places, but I wouldn't say that it was just a couple of problem areas that I had, not less so that I was having consistent issues the whole time. Whereas Doom, like, I felt like I was dying more regularly, but getting stuck less, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I did, like, preparing for Doom, I played, like, fucking Ancient Aliens, so, I was ready. So yeah, but all of those, the games I've been playing, are because there were games talked about at E3. Let's talk about games that were talked about at E3. Who wants to start?
You want to move on to that one?
Start. Yeah, let's fucking do it.
I'll just start listing the ones that I notably was excited for that I remembered off the top of my head. There's plenty more that I was excited for.
Well, why don't you just talk about them one at a time rather than listing them?
Yeah, not listing them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
what was your favorite game of E3? Let's start with that.
My favorite game? All right. Let's be real. Monster Hunter World. I'm really excited for it.
Okay.
I was really iffy about just the trailer they showed us. I feel like they showed a trailer that was trying to capture a general audience instead of a trailer that was trying to show off to Monster Hunter fans. But I've heard a lot more of information about it, and basically all of the information boils down to It is a regular old mainline Monster Hunter game with a couple of new features, which is exactly what happens every time. Like, it's basically Monster Hunter 5.
Mm-hmm.
And the really exciting thing for me is it's gonna be on PC. That's great. Oh,
Yeah, I'm really excited for that too.
one of the things that I'm not sure how I feel about, in previous Monster Hunter games, every time you would eat a consumable, you would take a potion and then you would flex and stand still. And the only reason for that is to give you a moment of vulnerability, so you can't just pop potions whenever. In Monster Hunter World, it looks like you can use items while moving, so you'll like slow down to a snail's pace, like Dark Souls. Like when you sip an Estus flask, you kind of move a little bit, and then but you'll, like in Monster Hunter World, you'll take a potion, and you'll just kind of keep walking.
In God Eater, you could also move while using consumables.
Yeah.
And it at least in that game, it wasn't so bad because you still were kind of vulnerable because you have a lot less movement options when you're doing that. So
yeah, I don't think it's like super. I don't think it's like super bad. It's just like very different from the other Monster Hunter games. Like, in order to make up for that, I feel like monsters will have to be a lot more aggressive, because like with previous Monster Hunter installments, you would have to take a potion only when you knew, like you might have to dodge around for a good minute or so before you knew that the monster had just did an attack with a long wind down, because you knew that you were going to have to drink that potion and then sit there and fucking flex your muscles like a badass. But now it's like you probably can get away with, like, okay, this monster just did an attack and it's turning around, I'll gobble it up real quick and then keep running. Which, like, isn't necessarily worse. It'll make the game a little easier if they don't adjust monster AI to account for it.
Right.
But
I mean, maybe possible they could make all the monsters more aggressive across the board. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of Monster for You. I think. Not the one that. Yeah, For Unite, I think, on the 3DS. I'm just really happy that it's coming to PC, because like it would be so refreshing to play it on a large screen instead of like at very low textures on a handheld system.
Also, it looks really fucking good.
Oh, but I heard 30 FPS.
Yeah, it is locked to 30 FPS.
Yeah.
And that's because usually when the Japanese port a game, they don't fucking understand how to port a game to PC. And so basically what I think the problem is if they port it and make it run at 60 FPS, everything will go faster. Like all of the monster AI will calculate faster. Like, here's a problem in Dark Souls 3, a huge problem that they have never patched out. In the PC version, the more frames per second you are running at, the faster your weapon loses durability, because it counts as more hits.
Right.
So, like, that's the stupidest fucking bug ever. And it's tied directly to frame rate. So I think they just want to avoid those problems. It won't look as good if it's not running at 60, but
yeah.
I mean, I can see why. It's also them being lazy. I'm not making excuses.
Well, the past Monster Hunters have run at 60 though, so is this just because it's multi-platform with PS4, right?
Yeah, multi-platform with PS4 and Xbox.
So maybe I think it's being held back by the consoles then, and they just
possibly
made it to that spec, to 30 spec instead of 60 spec for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
they probably made it to 30 spec because they wanted it to look like to have high graphic fidelity. Because on the Nintendo consoles that they had, they just didn't care. They knew it wasn't going to be able to run really, really good looking graphics. So they were just like, whatever, we'll make it run at 60 FPS just so it feels better.
Right. That's pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
I guess.
But
I mean, I'll try it
with the more
and
powerful
see,
hardware.
Because even God Eater ran at 60, and that was a Vita port.
I mean, I guarantee you there'll be a mod to unlock it to 60 like within a few weeks.
Who knows what it'll break though? Could break
Yeah,
anything from AI logic to weird durability things like in Monster Hunter. So
yeah, yeah. Monster Hunter durability is really important too, so you don't want that. Okay, how about what are you most excited for out of E3? Because we already know what Dell's most excited for.
Go on,
Okay.
Zane, please.
Well, I'll start. Yeah, Spider-Man probably.
Spider-Man.
All right. Go.
Yeah,
It looks fun.
Really been waiting for a good Spider-Man game for a long time. All of the Spider-Man games are relatively fun, but there hasn't been a really good one since probably Ultimate Spider-Man on the Xbox / PS2. And that was the one where you could play as both Venom and Spider-Man. But man, I really love Insomniac as developers, and then to see them taking on Spider-Man just makes me so happy. Especially since from the trailer, and I don't know, like, you would have to test it in game to really know if that's how it works. But it looks like it uses real in-game collision for swinging, which is something they haven't done since Spider-Man 2. Despite everybody loving that about Spider-Man 2, it's kind of funny that it's taken this long. We'll see if that's actually the case.
Like, swinging around in Central Park was always dumb because you were above the trees and you shot straight up. It's like, what the fuck were you swinging off of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't know, just the feeling of swinging, like, around something, the physics of swinging around something just felt so good in Spider-Man 2. And, it's
and
kind of, I mean, it's like, the movement in other games was a means to an end, where in Spider-Man 2, it felt like it was the purpose of the game. If they're bringing that back in this new Spider-Man game, I'll be so happy.
Yeah, it looked like from the trailer there were points like where the movement was even improved upon. Like, not just like he could swing around the corner of the building, or you could just shoot to an anchor point and yank yourself real fast.
Well, that was in Spider-Man 2.
Was it?
It was called web
I don't
zipping.
remember that. I don't remember the web zipping.
It was.
Oh, also, I don't know if I want to touch on this yet. Is there anything else you wanted to point out about the trailer?
I mean, I don't think it's that big of a spoiler. At the end of the trailer, they show Miles Morales. They name drop him,
which leads,
well,
some people to believe that due to the ending of the trailer being Spider-Man Peter Parker being like
grabbed by
ripped apart by fucking Mr. Negative, leads people to believe that Miles Morales will be the protagonist of the game, and you only play as Spider-Man for the intro.
I don't know. I could see it going either way. It looks like the. I mean, this is gonna get like weird, but I think that the universe that Spider-Man is presenting looks more like the main Marvel universe, not the Ultimate Universe where Miles Morales is from.
Right.
But the question is, do the developers care?
Well, they already said that it's not like super connected continuity, but but right now in Marvel Comics, Miles Morales is in the main Marvel universe anyway because of the Secret Wars, but I don't know what that means. I don't really care to read that into it. It might be a situation where you play as both Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Maybe it is about Miles Morales, or maybe it's just about Peter Parker and Miles Morales is there too. Like, I'm cool with whatever. I've never been a person who's been that hung up. I like Peter Parker better as a character, but I think Miles Morales is really interesting too. In this case, I care more about the gameplay because it's been so long since we have had a Spider-Man game on the same level as Spider-Man 2 or Ultimate Spider-Man. So, man, it looks fun.
Yeah.
That's really
I don't
my takeaway.
And I don't mind Miles Morales as conceptually, I think he's fine.
I mean, it was they made Spider-Man a mantle in Ultimate Spider-Man, You can
Yeah.
have whatever opinion you want on that.
Yeah.
They didn't kill Peter Parker in the main Marvel universe, except when he was Dr. Octopus for a while, but we'll not get into that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Spider-Man is like Peter Parker Spider-Man is just such a good character. But Miles Morales is also a good character, so yeah.
Right.
I'm cool with whatever.
So Thel, what are you
Yes.
most excited for from E3?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you the story. What I'm really excited for was during the Nintendo conference when Reggie just walked up on stage, stood there like this for like half a second, looked over the crowd, and everyone was silent. It was beautiful. He just. Everyone began applauding loudly, just cheering their fucking ears out as his tone got higher and higher. People were fucking standing up, going goddamn crazy. The entire floor was just just ingrained with screaming. The entire state was screaming as he just went higher and higher. 4, and then an image of the number 4 appeared, and everyone just shit their pants. It was fucking amazing. I shit my
I'm
pants
pretty sure
too.
it didn't happen exactly that way, but
That's exactly what happened. I was there on the E3 live. It blew my fucking mind. People's heads literally exploded.
God damn it.
That girl in that Devolver developer fucking conference, her head literally exploded. Dawson literally died for half a second there because of the fucking amazingness of the announcement.
Very, very exciting.
It was
very exciting.
It was some shit. I'm gonna fucking explode as well, but you know later so that I can play the game. Yeah, Metroid Prime fucking 4, guys. My girl Samus ain't got a fucking good game in a decade. She ain't deserved this shit. I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm happy.
I know that a lot of people are really excited for Metroid Prime 4.
Yep, and
What
also
about-
Metroid 2D as well. Also, she's getting 2 fucking games. I'm super
Another
happy.
Sonic.
Metroid 2 remake.
Well, no, I don't know if it's a Metroid 2 remake.
It is.
It says that it's like Return of Samus, but I don't know. It could be something else. They've basically given us no fucking
Well, the
information
2D
on either.
one
of them.
is the 2D one is subtitled Return of Samus, right?
Well,
I'm pretty sure
Samus
it's Metroid
Returns. Yeah, Samus Returns. Return of Samus was Metroid 2, so
Oh, okay.
it leads
Oh,
you
so they're
to believe
remaking
that it
Metroid 2
could
then.
possibly be a remake of Metroid
Okay.
2. Yeah.
Right.
And then
You're forgetting though.
Metroid Prime 4.
Bannerlord.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But that wasn't announced at E3. That they just showed off some of the battles, and it's like, wow, that's Mountain Blade combat. Cool,
And then you-
good. I'm glad it's the same. That's all I
And
wanted.
then they moved on. Yeah.
And then they fucking moved on. No idea when it's coming out. Remember last year at E3, they were like, we're going to get
No, I thought they gave a
Bannerlord.
release date, didn't they?
No.
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 Okay, well.
But yeah, last year at E3, they were like, we're going to get a beta in your hands by December this year. And this year, they're like, so yeah, we're working on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
A Cuphead got a release date, though.
Oh yeah.
Right, September?
Something like that.
I don't
Somewhere
remember.
around there. Yeah.
I also want to talk about the Mario game. One of the things that the Mario
Which
game...
Mario game?
The new fucking Mario game that's coming out. The
Odyssey?
Mario Odyssey, yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Because there's also Mario vs. Rabbids, which would be a fun thing to talk about too in a second.
yeah,
But let's
well,
start
talk
with
about
Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, the real Mario game. One of the things that this sort of like made me come to the realization, and this is something I feel like everyone just takes so for granted that it's expected and that you're not surprised by it, even though that, you know, it's been something that's been permeating the entire series for fucking ever. Mario games got good goddamn music. They always had good goddamn
You
music.
do. Yeah.
Literally,
They like their music.
there has never been a Mario game that hasn't had fucking iconic ass music. Even though half of the music is a fucking meme now. Like, you hear the fucking Super Mario Brothers 2 thing. You think of fucking Moonbait's Alpha and shit, but
Yeah.
it's still like, this is fucking Mario 2. You hear like fucking Super Mario's theme and you're just like, yeah, that's Mario. There it fucking is. It's like, It's
You know,
it's like you hear a
actually-
fucking Beethoven theme, and it's like, yeah, that's what that
The
is.
funny
That's
thing is-
Moonlight Sonata.
I was a little bit disappointed when I played Breath of the Wild and the main Zelda theme like wasn't the overworld theme.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was, I guess, in retrospect, it was probably better because that game did leave a lot of room for ambient like noises and stuff. But man,
Yeah.
I missed that overworld theme from Zelda.
Yeah.
Yeah. God. Nintendo good at making games. I don't know what they doing as a company, but they're good at making
Something
games.
that I would like to point out about
Go ahead.
Mario Odyssey. So Super Mario 64,
He
right?
possessed the dinosaur.
Yes, he did possess a dinosaur. Super Mario 64. That was hailed as like the OG ass 3D platformer.
Yeah.
The controls were just really tight. Like everybody's played it, everybody knows it. Like
Some people have done crazy fucking
some
things.
people have done really ridiculous shit that we're not going to get into because that would take hours.
Yeah, 12 hours of building up speed.
Yeah. And then Super Mario Sunshine. Not as critically acclaimed, but it still had the nice, like, tight controls that everybody
I
loved
think
about
it was
Super
still
Mario
critically
64.
acclaimed. I think it just did
Not as
less.
critically acclaimed because
Not as
do as
journalists
well,
weren't
yeah.
good at video games back then.
But you know what neither of those were as critically acclaimed as Super Mario Galaxy 1 came out. It was hailed as the perfect game. It got 10 out of 10 like everywhere. 5 out of 5, whatever. They basically everybody said it was fucking perfect.
Mario good.
And nobody was like, it was great, but they could have done this. And then Nintendo was like, ha, watch this. They pushed it out of the way and made Super Mario Galaxy 2, which was just better. And everybody gave that perfect scores.
I never played either of them.
Me neither.
Fuck!
But
Guys, I don't like own Nintendo consoles a lot. In fact, to the point I've never played a fucking Monster Hunter or a Pokemon game since like Ruby. But I play those fucking games.
I never owned
Yeah.
a Wii.
well,
Alright, that's fair.
the
I was
point
like
is
the
though,
only person. I would have bought a Wii if it wasn't impossible to buy for the first 2 years, and then after that I gave up.
Yeah, alright,
So-
that's fair.
the point is that
Now you can find them in thrift
They're-
stores for like $50, but
they're grouping together. So like they showed this chart and it had Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, Super Mario 3D World. It had a bunch of like those games lined up here.
Mhm.
And then it had like under it had Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Odyssey. So it was grouping those two together with Super Mario Odyssey. So I think that they're going to really focus on like the platforming.
well, yeah, that seems to be
Control-
every
they always
indication
do
from
that,
the
but-
trailers. Like Mario Galaxy, as much as it was still like a Mario game, was very different from other 3D platformers. So I can see them moving in a different direction. That makes sense.
Yeah. So
Dinosaurs,
I think they kind of
that's
want to get
direction.
back to the Super Mario 64
I want to
feel.
possess things as
with it.
Mario. Be like a
Mhm.
ghost, man.
Be like a Mario ghost. Yeah, that sounds cool as shit. What? And it's weird. It's
Oh
like
my god,
you-
when he possessed Bullet Bill in the freaking trailer, I couldn't
You
looks
did
so much
lose
fun.
your
I was
shit.
like,
I
what
do
the
remember that.
fuck?
Yeah, you did straight up lose your shit. I was there. It was great.
And I tend not to get super excited for a lot of Nintendo properties, but man, that was just
Mhm.
oh, that was so good.
Yeah. And one of the things that's really weird. Mario is a fucking game character that was one of the OG video game characters, and usually when they like come back or like rebooted constantly, like Mario is,
Mhm.
if they're not like it's always like, oh, this is William. I mean, you might as well just play the original. Yeah, play the original. It's like, no. With fucking Mario, every single game's the goddamn masterpiece, and it's fucking great.
Yeah,
I
every
don't
time.
know. Nintendo just likes to make Mario good, and they do a good job at making Mario good. Fucking make RPGs out of Mario. Goddamn, XCOM Mario games. which is probably going to be fantastic because it has Mario in it. Mario's brother goes ghost hunting. Also a fantastic game. Like,
When's the
Yeah,
next
like
Wario
every
game?
Mario game is.
Mario fighting game revolutionized the fucking...
When's the next Wario game?
Yeah! Mario's weird fucking cousin goes on incredible adventures, and it's one of the best games of the Game Boy, like,
Mario
Advance.
and Waluigi. Has Waluigi been in any non-tennis game?
Yeah,
Sports game?
Yeah, I think so. He's
Yeah.
been in like all the spin-off games, like every
No, I
single
mean,
one.
has he
Mario.
been in any like actual?
But mainline Mario
game
games. I don't
game.
know.
I don't think he has.
He just showed up one day.
Just showed up in one Mario Kart one day. Ever since.
It's me.
I
No,
guess.
I'm
like,
here.
Legitimately, Waluigi's like backstory is that like he showed up and he hates Luigi. Like that's his whole backstory.
Good.
Like one day he appeared and also he doesn't like Luigi.
That's
that's it.
Sounds about right.
And Wario just adopted him as his son.
Or something, yeah.
I don't really care about this Mario stuff, but I like beating the shit out of them. Hate Luigi. Why? Secret backstory. Wow. I hope we can go deeper into the Waluigi lore in Super Mario Odyssey. Personally.
Definitely.
I'm glad they're
that
bringing
reminds me
back
of something.
Paulina.
Damn
is
it,
this
I was
bad?
gonna say that, yeah.
Is it bad? Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm happy about that. I'm glad that,
What?
and I'm actually excited
Paulina
for
is the-
Waluigi's lore.
Paulina is the character that you rescue in Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah, Donkey Kong.
That's funny.
And she's like a fucking diva.
She's
or
like the
some shit.
mayor of that city they showed off.
New
She's
Donk
like
City.
Chris Chan, except cool as fuck.
There was like weird pictures of Bowser in like a wedding getup with Princess Peach like chained to a ship or something. What was that
I
about?
bet you were going a completely different.
What do you mean?
direction
What
with
was that
Mike.
about? That's the
The plot of the game.
No, I
Princess
know, I
Peach
mean-
captures.
We really haven't been shown that much about like the overall story, but it's just like that one moment.
I
it's
mean,
like,
I'll tell you what
okay.
the overall story is. Bowser kidnaps
Oh,
Princess
fuck.
Peach to marry
You
him,
don't
and
know
Mario
that.
has to get him back.
You don't
Yes,
know
I do.
that.
Gosh darn!
That wasn't
Not
the
a
plot of,
fucking game.
That wasn't the plot of Super Mario Sunshine,
Yeah, it was.
was it?
Yeah.
I never played Super Mario Sunshine.
It turns
either.
okay, sort of. You know the negative Mario that was
I don't
spreading
care.
goo all over.
Let's just move on.
He was. Point is, he was Bowser Jr. and he kidnapped Princess Peach.
Are taking this. And when you said weird pictures of Bowser, I was thinking, well, there have been these weird pictures of Bowser circulating online where Bowser's like wearing panties.
Moving on.
Please.
Let's
Anyway,
talk
away
about
from
Mario
Bowser,
versus
far
Rabbids, or Mario and Rabbids.
So XCOM.
I'm actually.
Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say.
I
It
was
looks
way
like
more
XCOM.
positive on it than I thought I'd be. It looks.
Yeah,
it actually looks like
I
a lot
like-
of fun.
Literally, I was like really excited to watch the trailer because I wanted to rip on it like so bad, and then like just the whole time we were like, "Wow, that actually looks pretty cool."
Yeah, it could be
Wow,
cool,
look,
yeah.
he can jump on his head and just fly over and flank the enemy. That's pretty neat.
There's
That's a good
something
feature.
like strangely really goofy about. Well, I guess it's not super strange that it's goofy, but there's something so goofy about that rabbit being dressed like Princess Peach.
Yeah.
What is
I still
that?
don't like
Oh,
the rabbits.
So
like,
weird.
Yeah, same.
They're like stupid fucking ADHD kids.
They're like the minions.
Yeah,
of
they're
video
yes.
games,
That's what I was
yeah.
trying to say. They're like the minions of video games.
Yeah. But
They're,
or-
I would say they're
No.
slightly better than that.
It's worse.
It
I
is
would
not
say they're
worse.
worse because they
no one likes
because
them.
Ubisoft wants them to be the minions of video games. They want them to be the
Well,
face of
Minions
everybody's
wanted them.
Facebook page, but
No.
Well,
I
the
mean,
Minions,
they're
the
not.
creator of Minions definitely wanted the same thing. Like, straight
right, but
up.
they succeeded in it, whereas Ubisoft didn't.
I don't know that they were pushing that hard on it. There was like the one Rayman game, Raving Rabbids, and then like a couple of things they were in, but it wasn't like this big thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, just the way that they like present them.
But yeah, I do hate the rabbits as well. But here's the thing. This game has fucking Mario in it, and like I was talking about before, I'm here to fucking elevate your game. I'm going to make it good. Fucking everything I'm in is a goddamn amazing game. He's fucking Mario. He just exists and is good. It's me. I'm in the game now. The game is now good.
Well, some people
It's
might
not-
argue with you on that point because I think a lot of people don't like the new Super Mario Brother 2D game, but
Yeah.
I think that really that's a very divisive one.
I feel like that kind of like boils down to it's not as good as the other ones, but it's still good.
Yeah.
It just like they've come to a higher
It was just
I
standard.
think it
same
really boils
thing.
down to how much you enjoy being knocked into pits by your friends.
Yeah.
It has the Mario Party problem.
Oh yeah,
So let's move on.
sure.
Actually,
Another
do you mind if we take? Do you mind if we take a break here?
sure. We'll go for how about 9 minutes, and we'll just start at 5.
Okay. We'll be back in a little bit.
And
Hi,
we're
and
back.
And we're back,
Hi.
as we all say that at the exact same time.
Except L, because he's dumb.
Wow. Fuck.
Okay.
Suck my dick. Suck my wall's dick.
Moving on. So the next thing that I want to talk about is Battlefront 2.
Okay.
Yes.
Battlefront
Battlefront 2.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm
right.
actually
We'll do
really excited for this one because
I am.
I skipped the first one because from what I heard about it, it seemed like it was very shallow.
It was like too shallow. There was nothing to do in it. There was no single player. There was like even within the game, you got your one guy and you loaded him out instead of.
I would have tolerated a lack of single player if the multiplayer was good, but from what I heard of the multiplayer, it was very like the main mode that everybody played was just the large scale deathmatch, and like a lot of the weapons were just better than other weapons, so
Yeah.
you would like you would constantly be like killed from a direction you didn't even see. Like I don't know, it just seemed like it was nice on paper, but didn't really seem that great.
I mean, the large scale battles is what everybody wants, and it's a
Right.
good idea. Just
I don't know.
It doesn't-
I guess I'm still cautious about this new one, but from everything, all the changes that they've shown, I am a lot more excited for this one than I was the previous.
it looks like it's more true to the original games.
Yeah,
which
the
is-
original
That's
Star
what
Wars
everybody
Battlefront
wanted.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry
Nobody
for sneezing on
wanted
stage.
EA to make Battlefield and give it a Star Wars skin. They wanted Battlefront 3.
Yeah, basically. In the Snowdrop engine, or whatever Dice's engine is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say the same thing that I said during our talk about this. I don't fucking trust them. I do not. I mean, I might be proven wrong. It might be fucking fantastic, and if it is, then shit, I'll play the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
But I am holding no hopes.
I mean, we'll see. I'm really they're adding space battles. They are adding a full campaign. They're adding a lot of what people wanted. The biggest complaints from the first game seems to be being addressed in this one. I just really hope that it actually turns out more balanced and fun to play, because I think that was the biggest problems I was hearing out of the first one. So
It just wasn't enjoyable.
Yeah.
well,
To
that's a
play
matter
all
of taste.
3 of those maps.
That's a matter of taste. Some people really liked it anyway, but I don't know.
Some people
just think-
enjoy getting shit on the chest, man. I don't
Well, some
trust
people
that.
just really enjoy running around and hearing all of the sounds and like because it looked really pretty and it sounded
Oh
really
yeah,
good.
absolutely.
So for people who
Agreed.
just wanted to experience Star Wars for a little while, it was probably really good for them. It
Yeah.
just I like to play games that are good.
I like to experience Star Wars too. I experienced them on DVD and Blu-ray.
So let me bring up if we're through with Battlefront, let me bring up one that I'm really, really excited for.
Sure, shoot.
And they've showed it off a couple times in previous E3s. I think maybe once. Sea of Thieves.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
pretty excited
Is-
for Sea of Thieves too.
It looks perfect. You got that co-op kind of driving a pirate ship action going on.
It
It's
looks
great.
the perfect amount of goofy too. It
Yeah.
looks
Yeah, it's like really, it doesn't take itself super seriously, but it's still a pirate game.
right, very Monkey Island-esque.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was a game that I sort of was surprised that I was really looking forward to this E3. A Way Out. A lot of people
Yeah.
have been talking about how this game, fucking EA got on the stage and showed this game off, and it's like, wow, this actually looks really good. Me too. It
Yeah.
looks really good. I want to play it.
It looks
Okay.
really fun that it's like asymmetrical multiplayer. I think more games need to do that.
What?
Yeah.
um,
Tell your cat I said hi. Anyway.
so, yeah, but going back to Sea of Thieves, I was really excited to see that it was Play Anywhere. A lot of Xbox's games this time were Play Anywhere games.
Yeah, which means that you can also play them on PC.
I'd really
basically.
love to play Sea of Thieves on PC.
Mhm.
It's kind of yeah, I don't know. I'm confused about Microsoft's strategy in terms of using Play Anywhere, but it benefits me, so I'm happy with it.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't see it moving a lot of Xboxes, but I mean, I guess getting more people into the Windows Store ecosystem is just as good for them. I don't know.
That's what they really want. Is
Right.
they
Yeah.
want people into the Windows Store.
1 second.
Stop using Steam, please. Please stop using Steam. That's not ours. You're using Steam on our fucking thing. Stop.
Yeah.
Also, another thing I noticed, EA doesn't talk about Origin anymore. It just happens to release its games on it. It's just like,
Yeah, I've heard that Origin has gotten a lot better, but I haven't
Well,
really
my
used
thing-
it in a while, so...
I mean, I'm happy with Origin in that it gave me Red Alert 2 for free, and that's about all I can say about Origin. I got Red Alert 2 for free. Hey, you can play Origin, you get Red Alert 2 for free, I guess. Fucking, I mean, I
it's
don't use
better
that
than
shit,
you
but
play.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'll say
better
about it.
than Windows Live circa
If
fucking
everything is better
2010.
than games for Windows Live, yes. Boy.
Yeah.
But that's not...
Yeah.
That's not even a fair comparison, I would say.
Well, yeah, no, it is an absolutely fair comparison because Games for Windows Live is another one. It's just expertly bad. It's bad in all of its facets.
The Windows Microsoft Store is better than games for Windows Live.
Yeah. Oh god.
And
Well-
that has its own share of problems, like the fact that you can't find anything on that store, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is another game that it wasn't really announced at E3. Well, it wasn't like announced at the big,
Yeah, it
conferences,
wasn't at
but
a
it was
conference,
announced
but
at
it
like
was alongside
yeah.
it.
that I'm really excited for. So, Calypso Media is a game company that makes like New City Sims and stuff, and that's my shit.
Tropico.
Yeah. They released a game really recently called Urban Empire, which was supposed to be like a mayor sim rather than like a city god sim where you just fucking put shit down.
Right.
You have to talk to like everything and do all this political stuff, and it was fucking terrible. It was like just imagine a city sim, but everyone wanted like fucking residential zones, and you had to ask to do that, and they said no anyway. Also, it was a buggy piece of shit that they just left after everyone was like, "Wow, this game's kind of bad. Did you fix it?" Nah. And you know what they left it for? Tropico 6. That's the only thing Calypso's good at doing.
More
Fuck it,
Tropico.
go back. I'm excited. Actually, in this day of, we don't like to get political, but in this day of political turmoil and people hating other people for lots and lots of reasons, and a lot of parodies being gone, another Tropico game might be kind of nice. That's the kind of game that we need right now. We need to talk about El Presidente. I think that would be fun. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, Tropico looks pretty good.
Yeah,
I
love.
I've never been
tried-
super into City Sims,
I
but
tried like every Tropico game, and I didn't like them. I don't like City Sim games. So
Oh,
that's
okay. Well, then,
the problem.
fuck. Yeah, I mean, that's what they are.
I
Tropico
kind
5
of
is
like
a little
them.
bit more.
What?
Tropico 5 is a little bit more like a Civ game, but it's sort of one of the things a lot of people didn't like about it is it removes a lot of complexity out of Tropico 4 and forces you to build a military or else you can't progress in the game. I hate that.
Yeah.
I
Well,
want to build a paradise with tourism and love.
back onto the pirate thing though. Skull and Bones was an Ubisoft game that was also a pirate game coming out. There seemed to be a lot of pirate stuff this time.
See, that one looked pretty fun because I enjoy like just ship to ship combat. That's like really cool. But I liked it less than
It looks like it's a spin-off of Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It's taking all of the Assassin's Creed out of what was otherwise a really good pirate game. So
yeah, it's like, so remember that really fun game where there was Assassin's Creed? Imagine that, but without Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So
I'm down.
So no, I'm
Speaking
really
of
excited
cool,
because I've played,
Also, there's the Kraken.
yes, there was a
He
Kraken.
shows up.
So I played
Babadook.
I
He
played
shows up too.
Assassin's Creed 3 and Black Flag, and the sailing and ship combat in it was very good. So for them to spin that out into its own thing is probably really smart on Ubisoft's part, because it's a new IP that is also like they have very competent like design choices because they've hammered it out in the Assassin's Creed games. So
a new IP from Ubisoft. Imagine that.
well, actually, Ubisoft's been pretty good about having new IPs. I think they're
The
they
thing that
make more
worries
new
me is,
IPs than most other companies, I would say.
the thing that worries me about Skull and Bones is it sounded like they are trying to do the same For Honor thing, where it's like you got these factions warring, and when you win a game, you put points towards your faction, and it doesn't mean fucking anything at all.
I think that makes more sense in this game than it did in For Honor, though, because I think in For Honor there was a lot of disconnect about what you were even putting those points towards, I thought. Whereas in a pirate game that takes place in the Caribbean, at least I assume it does, you're like more directly tied to that environment in a different way than For Honor was. Like, you had all of these things, like all of these zones and stuff, and then when you won a zone, you would get that, like, it would basically be a map in that zone. It wasn't directly connected with the zone itself, whereas I think in this Skull and Bones, I think it has more potential to be more directly connected to it.
In For Honor, you won a game as any class you wanted, and then you put points towards your faction anywhere you wanted after the game was over. So it was a complete disconnect. You didn't even have to win a game in that map.
Yeah, well, that's not what I'm saying, though. That's not my point. I'm saying that like, the meta progression might make more sense when it's directly connected to what you're doing.
Right. So, but I think that's what they're like, based on the decisions that this company has made in the past. I think that they're just going to go with the same thing as For Honor.
No, I don't think that
we'll go sail around in.
I don't think
Florida.
Ubisoft has ever operated like that. I think Ubisoft has a consistent track record of putting an idea in one game that's half-baked, and then taking that idea and then iterating on it and having it more effective in the next game. You saw that with the Far Cry series. Like, every Far Cry has been progressively more and more deeper versions of the previous one. They like in every Assassin's Creed. For the problem with the Assassin's Creed series is they were doing 2 games simultaneously developed so they could release them on a 1-year cycle. So it kind of hampered that, but you would notice that they would take mechanics from the previous 2 Assassin's Creed games ago and then iterate on that idea in the next one. I think Ubisoft has been very good about taking an idea, hammering out the kinks, and putting it in their next game. That's not to say that Skull and Bones won't fall into a lot of the same issues that For Honor did, but I don't expect it to be an identical carbon copy that maybe other developers might fall into. So
well, either way about it, with not thinking about the metagame though, it does look really entertaining just to play within
Right.
its own.
And I
games,
think
'cause they're
that-
just
I think that was
shooting
probably the
them.
biggest issue with For Honor's meta progression. It was very ignorable.
mhm.
Like there was basically, I mean, I didn't really play it much except for in
It
the
wasn't
beta,
tied into the game at all.
but it did.
Yeah.
It really felt
Like
very
you could
disconnected.
legit just fucking click on a button and just like have it distributed to just whatever, and then it's like what you'd fucking do because it's like.
And at least Skull and Bones isn't trying to pull the wool over people's faces and trick them into playing a fighting game.
Mhm.
Because of its history in the Assassin's Creed games, you kind of know exactly what you would be getting into if you've played those previous games.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a spin-off but disconnected from the universe. Very weird. But I like it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
It does look cool. I'm more excited for Sea of Thieves though because I like
Yeah.
the action of having a bunch of co-op players on one ship running things
Well,
that
I
I
think
do.
in a way they're kind of two different styles of game.
Yeah.
You
I think
can do
that
2 different styles of pirate game.
yeah, exactly. The more variety is better, I think. And they'll be competing, but they're competing on kind of different levels. Like
Mhm.
Skull and Bones is definitely more serious.
Yeah.
It is the like we're playing it straight pirate game, and it's more about being in control of your whole ship, whereas Sea of Thieves, for better or for worse, is more about being part of a crew rather than being the captain.
Mhm.
And it has more to do with cooperative goals, whereas Skull and Bones definitely looks like, even if there is cooperative multiplayer, would definitely be more like team deathmatch rather than I don't know, something like getting treasure the same way. I don't know. I guess we'll see when they come out to compare them more closely, but I'm excited for both of them. So
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for both of them. Sea of Thieves looks more like my style of game that I want to play. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
One game that I remember was announced at E3, or was, I suppose, more shown off. Technically, it was announced last E3, and the E3 before that, and that. Skyrim.
Mm.
You guys excited?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can't wait to play
I
Skyrim.
actually
Oh
am
yeah,
a
Skyrim
little-
looks fun.
I actually am a little excited for Skyrim on Switch. Like,
The
say
fact
what
that
you
you
want
can
about
take it.
motion controls, but that actually does look fun.
I mean,
And the ability to play it anywhere
And the
on
HD
mobile
Rumble.
also seems fun. Yes, we had an
And,
argument about HD Rumble on the Nintendo.
Mhm.
Was it Nintendo or Ubisoft or Bethesda? I don't even remember.
It was
Bethesda.
during
It was
yeah,
Bethesda.
it was during Bethesda.
Yeah. So I don't know, like, maybe they'll figure out something to do with HD Rumble, but I think that Nintendo is going to have to show more examples of HD Rumble in their first-party games than 1-2 Switch, because
Yeah.
as interesting as 1-2 Switch was, they didn't put hardly any of it in Zelda. So
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see what they do with it.
I felt like they spent a lot of time developing the actual game of Zelda, which, yeah, good.
Well, yeah, Zelda in a lot of ways was just a port of the Wii U version, so
Yeah. Sort of. Yeah.
actually they stripped a lot of features out of the Wii U version because
Really?
they didn't want it on Switch. They didn't want more features to be on the Wii U version when they're trying to push the Switch, so
Yeah. Okay, I gotcha.
like a lot of that inventory management might have been easier if you had a tablet that you could look at, but neither here nor there.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I actually wanted to go back to A Way Out because we kind of glossed over that in the middle of Sea of Thieves when we were talking about Sea of Thieves, but man, having that asymmetrical co-op looks really interesting.
Yeah.
Not enough games
And like
have
it's one of
really-
those games that I'm pretty sure you can play over and over again. Like even if just hypothetically, if
at most
just
twice, or at
two of
least-
us played it,
or at minimum twice, yeah.
we could play it and then flip flop the characters we'll play.
I really
And
liked that
it
with-
looked like there were other ways to solve things even with the same character.
right.
Yeah.
So it's one of those games you
I
could play.
think
a
the
bunch.
last game I remember that tried to do something like this was Fear 3. Or
Yeah.
was it?
You and I
It
played
was
that one,
3.
Zane. Yeah, it was Fear 3. And
that game was actually like as bad as the reviews were for that game. It was a lot of fun to have that asynchronous multiplayer concept.
yeah,
That is
because
not
it was
used enough.
really cool because Point Man could slow down time for both him and the co-op partner.
Mhm.
And then the co-op partner, like Point Man could sit there and like keep time slowed down, and then the co-op partner could go
and possess
and
people.
possess somebody across the map and throw a grenade at his own feet.
Yeah,
And it was
or his
just
allies
really
and stuff.
cool.
It was,
yeah.
That man, I'm just really glad that another company is trying to really hammer home that asynchronous co-op, because I think we need more examples of that for other companies to really like want to invest in.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
something that you can like. It's more fun that way than just having a clone of Master Chief.
I mean,
walking around with Master Chief.
I love co-op, so I'll accept them just making a carbon copy of whoever the main character is.
Yeah, just toss it in there. That's fine
But
too.
if you can make it split up like that, that is so much better. So
Yeah.
I'm really
it looks
excited
like
to
a good
do
game.
a playthrough of that for sure.
Yeah, even like some games like even. Oh, shit.
And that's done through EA's like indie publisher studio, right? That was an EA game.
Yeah.
Right.
One thing they had to show off that looked good.
like you could even instead of just a carbon copy, just have the same guy but with different like the same place.
Well, that's still a
just different
challenge to
abilities.
balance. So people don't want, like, unless they really want to invest in co-op. I don't know. And even then, like, what was that game that we played? That I think it was called The Surge. No, not The Surge.
No, not The Surge.
It was something like that though. I don't know. Whatever it was, everybody had like,
Outbreak.
I think it was Outbreak. That was it.
Oh yeah, Outbreak. I think you're right. Yeah, everybody had like one or two abilities that were different. But that game really just felt like a clusterfuck, so I don't know.
Yeah, it did.
That one had a lot of issues, and I don't think they really did their co-op well. So it's like even giving people slightly different abilities doesn't always help. I think you really have to design it. It brings up more design challenges. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's one of those things.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah,
but I am really excited for A Way Out for sure.
Yeah, looks good. Want to play?
Let's see.
Oh, go ahead.
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yes.
I don't think it's gonna come out. I'm pretty sure that was a fake trailer. Like the rest of them. I mean, okay, I am. Yeah, same. But I've been burned so many times with this game.
Yeah, this
but
game
then
has
again,
been like it's felt like a cruel joke for like 15 years or something, however long it's
Truth
been in
is,
development.
we got more out of this trailer than we did for the Metroid Prime trailers. So
well,
I mean, if this game happens, I'll play the fuck out.
Actually, we've gotten more out of Beyond Good and Evil 2 than we've ever gotten before, including a small behind the scenes where it showed like the developer playing with development tools. So like so
we're actually
like
making this
game there, and it's not just a CG trailer. But man, I really hope that it actually comes out someday because man,
it didn't look like they were very far in development.
Oh yeah. But here's the thing. It's weird. This was like sort of the year of like games that were never to be, but then sort of appear. Fucking Metroid Prime 4, Beyond Good and Evil. It's like, wow, we didn't expect this shit to show up at all. In fact, we had active and negative expectations. Well,
Skyrim again.
It's like, well, we all knew that was gonna show the fuck up. But it's like we had like negative expectations. Like nobody sat there and was like, oh yeah, I hope they show Beyond Good and Evil 2. I hope Beyond Good and Evil 2 is announced this year. Like I have been for the last 722 years. It's like, and then just everyone's pulling that shit out. Gabe Newell, take note. Hey, you still there? You okay? Did you have a heart attack or something?
He's busy.
Doing good?
He's busy changing Greenlight into Steam Direct. He's too busy with.
I'm Gabe Newell, and I'm busy changing the way that we think about masturbation with VR technology.
Oh man.
No man, that's John Carmack.
So speaking of VR, Speaking of VR, let's
Ah!
segue into Fallout.
Skyrim for VR.
Okay, Skyrim,
Skyrim
for
for
VR.
Oculus.
I was actually gonna talk about Fallout 4 VR, but
Our design philosophy with Skyrim is going to be pulling over to Fallout 4 in that we're just going to keep fucking releasing this
So,
game over and over.
I don't have a headset yet. I intend to get one
I like
someday.
a phone thing.
But man, Fallout 4 VR looks like so much. That looks like a way more fun way to play that game. Honestly.
I don't think so.
I
think
know,
it's just
I really do.
I mean,
like
I would agree that it does look like a lot of fun, but you know what doesn't look like a lot of fun? $60 more.
Yeah. I really
Yeah.
hope that they figure out some way to change the price tag to
Yeah,
compensate
same,
for the fact that it's the same game
Same fucking game.
but in VR.
God.
And like I'm not going to downplay the amount of effort it probably took to make people not throw up, get the game running at an FPS that is, you know, reasonable for a Vive or an Oculus or whatever it's coming out on. Like, yes, that was a lot of work. You have to do a lot of UI work. They probably put a lot of effort into it, but the
$60.
game models are the same. The player models are the same.
it's not. At the end of the
Like,
day,
The
it's not a new
game's the
game.
same.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the same game. It's just a different way to play it.
So
I think a reduced price for owners
Right.
of the original Fallout
if you
4 would
already
be
own it, a
reasonable.
reduced price, like even $40 would feel more reasonable to me.
Yeah,
Um,
like make it a DLC or give
Yeah,
owners
or
of the
something.
give it to you owners of the season pass something.
so yeah, I really
But
would be
$60
excited
is
for
a
it, but it
lot.
just feels like when you're already deep into a computer. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things that like it is kind of a luxury game. So for people who already have a computer capable of running a Vive and a Vive, maybe $60 isn't asking that much for a single player game when you're already kind of milking the people who have a lot of money. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like,
Maybe
oh yeah,
that's what
these
the logic
motherfuckers who have
is.
$12 trillion. They can pay them.
I don't.
I mean, personally,
I don't know. I don't feel like it's different enough. Like
I think
like,
that, well, yeah, I agree.
what's the big deal? What's the big deal with VR? It looks 3D and you can point your gun like this. Like you can take a minigun and go.
Also,
Minigun
you
with
can
one
like look
hand.
around with your actual head. I really like that part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but you
mean,
can't turn around. You still need to use your controller to swivel all the way around.
I think that the headset with the motion controls, I think the motion controls make a lot more sense in VR. So the combination of being able to play Fallout with the headset and with motion controls, that is cool. It probably did take a decent amount of work to make that work and change the heads-up displays and change the building displays and like they're like really Fallout 4 was kind of a complex game in the first place, so translating it to VR probably was a lot of work. I don't want to downplay that, but having it completely separate from the original Fallout 4 just feels like a slap in the face to a lot of Bethesda's own fans. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the right decision. I don't know though. Maybe a lot of
think
Fallout
about it.
fans will
When they made
not care and
Skyrim Special
get it
Edition,
anyway.
if you owned Skyrim and all of its DLCs, you got Skyrim Special Edition for free.
Yeah.
Even then, it was a one-time thing. Like, if you buy Skyrim and all of the DLCs now, you don't get Skyrim Special Edition because there's no point to not buy Skyrim Special Edition over
Yeah, well, other than
the original
price
tag,
tag.
other than mods
Yeah.
and tag. That's another thing. Fallout 4 VR, if it's a completely separate game, is going to break a lot of mods, which we discussed earlier. A lot of mods make Fallout 4 just straight up better, as many Bethesda games.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could. I think it has the potential to break a lot of mods, but there's a lot of mods it probably doesn't break. So, I mean, it's probably one
Unless
of those
it's a
things.
different engine, that's the problem.
I
If
don't.
it's a
I don't
completely
know if
different
I
engine.
don't know that it's a different engine or not.
Hmm.
I'm not sure.
Also,
I don't. I would guess that it wouldn't be, because
yeah,
that would be a lot more work. But
yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
they probably just found a way to retrofit the Gamebryo engine with VR.
Yeah.
But
And that's what wouldn't surprise me. That is pretty.
I mean, that is Bethesda's MO. They've been using the Gamebryo engine since Fallout 3. So, since
Oblivion.
Morrowind, actually, right?
Oh, wait, was that on the Gamebryo
Morrowind was
engine?
a different engine, I'm pretty sure.
I
don't
think
know.
I think it's the same one. I think it's an older version of that engine, but I think that. I mean, I'll just check.
Yeah, give it a shot. While you're checking, I do want to talk about something else that was related to E3.
Yeah, it's been the Gamebryo engine since Morrowind.
God damn.
Actually,
Hot.
technically, Elder Scrolls 2 was Gamebryo. Oh no, I guess
Wow.
that's XNgene.
But
Okay, well,
Todd, fuck.
yeah.
Okay. Well, the thing that I do, out of all of the conferences that we saw, you see, the one that I was like the most excited for, just because I had no idea what the fuck, and just because I love a lot of their games, was the Devolver Digital conference. I had no idea what the fuck they were
Man,
gonna
the Devolver
possibly
Digital
do.
conference in general was just a clusterfuck. It was
They
crazy.
it was so good.
made
It was
such
beautiful.
fucking
I
fantastic use of stock audience footage. It was hilarious. Like for a while, I didn't realize that it was stock audience footage until they started playing the exact same clips over and over again.
Well, here's the thing.
It looked pretty staged pretty early on, but
Yeah, but I figured they had a live audience that was all in on it. You know,
I
they
mean,
might still
they-
have been, and then just recorded one spot and just used it over and over again. I'm not sure.
I don't know. It looked like it was from a movie theater. Like there was a lady laughing and eating
Oh,
popcorn.
they were multiple stock audience footages from multiple times. Some were from movie theaters, some were from like fucking the thing is though.
I don't know. I
and,
mean, I
and,
could
like,
very well see them recording that live when they were recording it. Like, I don't think. Okay, so the press conference. Was
no, they
obviously
were
not
from
a
different
live
places.
conference,
Yeah,
but
they were from different places. Yeah,
well,
they didn't even have an audience. In fact, they made a joke about the fact that they didn't.
No, they
have
had an audience because right in the beginning of the
No,
press
that was. I'm
conference,
pretty
she
sure that was
walked in
also.
and they were clapping and stuff, and you could see it.
Oh,
on
they
the
probably-
angle that they were at. So they had a audience there. It just don't know if the clips that they showed were from the same audience or not.
Oh, the
Right.
audience that you're talking about was also some stock footage. They did not have an audience. Straight up.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Did they
I've watched
overlay
it.
stock footage on like when she was
No,
walking?
but she
no,
walked
no,
in
they cut.
and there was an audience.
No, they cut between them. They didn't like pan from the audience to her. That never actually happened.
Huh? I don't know. But-
I don't. Their conference wouldn't have worked if they like in front of a live audience. It had to be recorded.
Yeah. Well, anyway, about it. One of the thing I liked about it. This is
I
just
think it
coming
could
out
have
of
if
like.
the audience were all actors and told what to do, but
Yeah.
Well, and this was like just coming out of like the E3, fucking E3, the
Yeah.
EA conference, like the Microsoft conference. We watched those fucking things, and then we watched this, which is just maliciously talking shit about the fact that E3 is
I
basically
think
just
we
one
watched it
giant
after
corporate
Ubisoft,
advertisement.
Blatant.
It was so beautiful. It was so much fun to
Blatantly,
watch.
they
and, like,
came
it
to
was so
E3
good.
and then they shat all
and
over
they
it.
just
It's
shat
so
all
funny.
over it. Oh, and
It
it was
was
like
so
the same
good.
things.
Well,
It was
that's
the same
the-
things I was making fun of, like with the E3
Yeah.
conference. Like, here we are. Here's the big corporation doing this. Here's Microsoft. It's us, Microsoft. We want gamers, you gamers, to be hyped. And then they
Yeah, and
then
like we were
fucking-
sitting there making jokes about that the whole time. Then we watched the Devolver Digital conference, and
and
we were
then
like,
they do the same
we
thing.
can't make jokes about this.
Yeah.
These are the jokes we were making.
we were gonna do
Oh.
we were gonna do a supercut video.
But
or
we couldn't. It was
something,
just
but
us fucking
the
sitting
whole
there
time
and
we were
enjoying
sitting
it.
there just like watching it because it was so crazy already that
Yeah.
there'd be no reason
Oh.
to do commentary over it.
Devolver
It's so
Digital,
cool.
good
Just
fucking
anybody
job,
just
guys.
Go watch it. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful.
The lady
piece.
in the lab coat left the stage covered in blood, and then next time we saw her, she was covered in even more blood than she left the stage with.
Okay, hold on. I had like a fucking list of things. Let me just fucking list off the things that I found. All right, here we are. The first person that we see, her name is Nina Struthers, and there are actual characters in this that we get. They get little things. Nina Struthers, her title was Chief Synergy Officer.
Okay.
the AA levels of okay, they say we're here at the David Lang Memorial Center.
And then they like went silent to wait for clapping, and
And there was just like a little bit of clapping, like this man died for this, and they were just like, yeah, exactly. All right, guys, check a look. It was something that they said multiple times. The next guy that came up on stage, the second guy, his name was Milo Laurie, and his title was Research and Development and More Research.
Did catch
Meg, the lab coat lady, they called her Meg, and they called her fucking Margaret multiple times. She comes to, like Dawson said, comes back on stage with more blood. Patent application pending.
Patent application pending. That's good.
Subtemporal phase shifting frame manipulation and consumer psycho-commercial analytics. Hey guys, I've been playing. This was something that was like just on the computer screen. Was hey guys, I've been playing so much Gungeon that my hands are disintegrating even as I attempt to type this. I have to help me, as viewed on an about blank Internet Explorer page on a Windows XP computer. As Nina's nose starts to bleed, Meg's mouth also starts bleeding. A guy snorting mustard like cocaine. It cuts
I
to
did
that
see
for like
that
5
one.
seconds. Okay, cool. And then there's a man who sort of plays piano with his nose, like he's snorting cocaine. Beautiful.
It got so
Okay,
crazy.
straight
Like
up
at the
though,
beginning,
If anybody
it was
hasn't
like-
watched it yet, just go watch it. It is
Go
beautiful.
fucking
no,
do it.
really, it's
so
fucking
good.
incredible.
It's
like,
really good.
It's made by the same guy who did those weird Adult Swim one-off
I think.
things.
I'm
like
pretty sure.
No, it is. We looked it up.
Yeah, I looked it up too.
Like Live Forever as You Are Now. If anybody's heard of
And
that one, that
fucking
little
Too Many
short.
Cooks.
And Too Many Cooks.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
that
made
one
by
was
the same
basically a
guy.
meme, so
Too
that
Many
was
Cooks is the
probably
really
better.
popular one.
Yeah, there was also
But I would say it's closer to Live Forever
wasn't,
as You Are Now.
This House
Yeah.
Has People in It was another one.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think
it's
that's
made by
probably,
that guy.
Tonally, that's probably more similar.
Yeah.
Also, just like I just want to make a special mention. So like there's this one point where she's talking and someone like fucking cheers and she's just like completely without missing beat, and that is what we are doing. Shut your fucking mouth, you piece of shit.
And
Anyway,
then, like, it just shows the stock footage stop clapping. Like,
yeah,
it's great.
It's all of the actors were incredible.
yeah.
So
It
it
was
was
great.
great.
It was.
However, even more to the point, they did announce like a game.
There was two.
Was
it was
it
like
two?
a Serious Sam game.
Oh
and
yeah,
something.
a top-down Serious
There
Sam
was also
twin stick
a
shooter,
a cyberpunk game there.
and then some Cyberpunk.
Oh, yeah,
top-down
that's right. Yeah, there
twin
were three.
stick shooter.
The-
They really like their twin stick shooters.
It's funny
at
because
Devolver
we're
Digital.
talking a lot about Devolver Digital, but I think that press conference distracted from what they actually announced. But
Yeah.
I feel like the press conference.
No, it wasn't
itself-
really.
yeah.
They didn't really announce anything. They just had Serious Sam and that Cyberpunk.
no, I
IP.
think they did announce a couple of games.
Yeah, those were actually announcements. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't remember them very well.
They also announced that they were working on a technology that would allow you to throw money directly into your screen.
Oh yes, of course, yeah.
And also, you can change the video games by typing bullshit into like.
By
any
typing
fucking
angry
forum,
comments, it reactively changes the game for you. They don't even have to do any development. Yeah, no,
And
you gotta
kills
watch
you
it.
immediately.
It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
fucking
It's
So-
it is
really
just
good.
wonderful.
Moving on.
Okay. Was there anything else about E3 that we wanted to talk about, or was that it?
No, there's a few more games that I kind of want to touch on.
Okay.
Shout out to Moss, which looked like a really cool game.
I don't remember Moss.
That one was the one about the little mouse with the sword,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
it's
okay.
kind of from a. Was that
like a
V-
second
was that
person
a VR
kind
game?
of.
I don't even remember. now.
Yeah, it was a VR
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
looked
That
good.
was the one that I was complaining about a lot. I was like, why are you making a 2D platformer for VR? What's the point?
I love the aesthetic of that game though. It looked really cool.
It did look really pretty. I just don't want to buy a VR headset to fucking play it.
Yeah.
Well, I
To play a
mean,
2D platformer.
I wouldn't buy it for that game, but that is a game that I would play.
Yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow
they're
of the
remaking that.
Colossus.
That looks really
like,
cool.
Oh my god.
I bounced off of
This-
Shadow of the Colossus. I still have it. I just never. At the time that I played it, because I missed it when it first came out, as a lot of people did. So I tried to play it later on, like half. It might have been after the PS4 had already come out. No, that's probably too long ago. It's probably halfway through the PS3 cycle, that 8-year cycle. But so I just didn't stick with it. So I played a little bit of. I think I might have killed the first boss and then bounced off of it. But them remaking it actually makes me pretty interested in going back and trying it again. So
See, Shadow of the Colossus is the single game that everybody points to whenever they get into this video games aren't art argument. That is the game. That's the one that everybody points to. Yeah, I mean, that's the game that comes to people's mind. It's a game that they point to.
I'm trying to think of more. Psychonauts, sort of. Some people do that.
That people like. I mean, that people really hammer.
No,
hammer
people
on,
really hammer games like Journey and games like Brothers. Like, I don't really, and I don't know. And even stuff like Gone Home, I don't think that they really hammer Shadow of the Colossus. I think that it's a very...
Oh, yeah, no, I've heard them do nothing but hammer the Shadow. And this is like
it's well respected.
I'm talking about, we're talking about before Brothers. We're talking about
I'm talking specifically when Roger Ebert said that video games can never be art.
Yeah.
Okay,
everyone,
maybe like,
everywhere told him to play Shadow of the Colossus.
Maybe like
I tried and I don't want to. But
yeah.
But like Shadow of the Colossus was the one that everybody pointed to for that particular one.
Well, yeah, and it was.
I mean, when they're like debating, trying to prove to
fine.
somebody else.
Maybe 5-10 years ago, but I think nowadays that is not the first thing that comes to a lot of people's mind.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. It's mostly just like indie games because indie games are really fucking it up. TBH.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of indie games do it. That's true.
Speaking of indie games and video games being art, Ori and the Blind Forest too.
You know, in like every medium, indie shit is the most artsy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Because big companies want to make money, and that's it.
In a way, though, the video game industry, unlike any other industry, indie games are more of a thing, like a big pillar, in a different way.
Yeah.
Like. Basically, everyone who has a Steam account has played at least some indie game. I would not say the same about indie films.
Yeah.
Well, currently more indie films are getting like released by.
Indie films are getting way more traction than they've ever had before. Yeah. But I would still say that most people have not seen an indie film.
Evil Dead was an indie film. Most of the John Carpenter films. Yeah, they were like released by big studios and gotten into places, and like they got popular after their stuff. But most people have seen indie films; they just didn't realize they.
Well, okay. But I guess not art house
like
indie films.
But like I mean like full on indie games like made by one person and stuck onto Steam by one person who paid $100 to get people to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
a lot
that's
that's
different than like Mad Max, which was made by like a couple people on like what a $2,000 budget, and most of it was spent on a motorcycle.
Stardew Valley was on a lot of people's like top 10 games of last year, and that was an indie game made by one person. Like Minecraft, technically for most of its life was a thing made by one person. Like games
the
that
thing
are
is, it's really easy to make
up.
like a game. Well, it's easier for like one person to make a game just because of the fact that with movies you need a lot of people doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and you get a bunch of actors on the screen.
Well, I
or
think
at least
that
like 2 or 3.
The difference in quality is both wider and narrower at the same time. Weirdly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like huge AAA action video games, I feel like the gap between those and like a 2D like platformer or something, is both like you can kind of think of it equivalent to like a Michael Bay action movie and like, you know, an art film, but at the same time, like the accessibility of those are on completely different levels. It is just as easy to get like a AAA action game and a indie game other than price. Whereas in the like in a way, you have to really go out of your way to see some indie films. You know what I mean?
That's true. Because a lot of them just aren't released into major
Yeah, it means
cinemas.
it means going to like
Yeah.
film festivals and stuff, and that's
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
something
exactly.
that.
well, if it's something like Ex Machina, which is, then it gets into shit and people do see
Yeah,
it.
and
It's
like
just that they aren't like advertised.
some get decent wide releases.
Yeah.
Ex Machina was actually like surprisingly had a lot of traction.
Yeah, and The Witch did too. It was released in a lot of places.
Yeah, The Witch. I forget. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. I just didn't see that one, but I did see it playing.
Yeah,
I
you
just
saw it
didn't see
eventually. You just didn't see it in theaters.
Right. I didn't see it in theaters. And actually, I don't really remember it that well. I'd probably have to watch it again, but I was distracted that night.
The Witch was an indie film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think a
kind
major
of
studio's gonna publish
it
that
had
shit?
Kind of
I
felt
mean,
like an
probably
indie
not,
film.
but it had. I don't know. It had really good production values.
Oh well, most indie films look better than not indie films. Ain't that funny, huh? Good job, Breffen.
Most indie games play better than most non-indie games.
Not always, but well,
Not always,
no,
but
not
I would
always,
say
yeah.
I would say that. Okay, not a majority. A majority of the indie games that are on people's radar are better than a majority of the high-budget AAA games that are on
Right.
people's radar.
And so,
But not that's a majority. That's not an always
Yeah.
thing.
so
Yeah,
I
so
want to
maybe
talk a little
movies
bit
are
about
fucking
news
trash.
before we finish off. So, is there any other games you want to quickly touch on before we move on for the last 15
I
minutes?
did want to point out that Kingdom Hearts 3 had a trailer.
Yeah.
It looked like
Outside
Kingdom
of
Hearts
the
3.
conferences?
Yeah, outside. No, it actually had a trailer on Xbox. We somehow missed it. I have no idea how.
Did I
we
just
missed
forget
it.
about it?
I-
I don't remember.
If you did, I also forgot about it, and I was really excited to see it. But
maybe
yeah,
it was just on the Xbox floor.
so it
we
looks
didn't
like
actually go to E3 live
maybe
Despite Phil
No.
lying about that earlier in the show.
multiple
Repeatedly.
times.
But yeah, I mean, it looked apparently it looked like Kingdom Hearts 3. It looks
I'll
like
have to
what
go
people
watch that
expect.
because I
of it.
missed that
Yeah.
one. So,
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on
But it's really close to done. I think it got a release date.
a couple things I'm sort of excited for. Detroit Become Human looks fun, and I like David Cage games, even though the writing is spotty.
No one else
Best.
does.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think a lot of people like them. They're just the writing isn't great, despite being a game about the writing.
Yeah,
We'll see how
that's
Detroit
my
turns out.
problem with them. Is that it? Because I have like a movie thing I kind of want to talk
And then the
about.
last thing I want to point out was The Artful Escape of Francis Vendetti was that music one that we saw that had the
yeah.
Queen music, or what
Yeah.
sounded like Queen music. That looks really cool. And I'm also excited for Kirby for Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
Kirby
I like
game
Kirby.
looked really good. It looked like Kirby 64, but just with more mechanics.
And it looks
Which-
co-op.
what
It
else
looks
do you
like
want
co-op
out of a-
multiplayer too, which I'm
Yeah.
really excited for.
A
I like
Nintendo
that.
game at large.
What else do you want for most games? Like, just make it just like the good one, but add add more shit to it.
Well, yeah,
Like-
I mean, we definitely are in one of those positions where we really like co-op games.
Yeah.
So, anything you want to touch on before I bring up Take-Two?
Before you bring up Take-Two,
Have you not heard about this news? Because I did post it earlier.
You definitely have heard about
yeah,
this
yeah,
new
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. That. No, go ahead. I can do mine like very last because it's like movie
Okay.
news, so it's like not related to video games at all. So go ahead.
So this week during E3, Take-Two tried to slide a thing under the radar. They sent a cease and desist to the major framework for GTA 5 modding, which was specifically designed to not work in multiplayer and only work in single player. What's the name of that mod? It's
And their justification for it was that it would reduce the number of hackers in their online play.
yeah. So they like clearly just don't understand or something.
Not
I have no idea.
not Rockstar. Rockstar did not do
Yeah,
this.
yeah, it
Yes,
wasn't
It is
Rockstar.
Take-Two,
Oh, okay.
Rockstar's publishing company.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, before anybody gets confused, we are not talking about Rockstar. We are talking
Yeah.
about
Rockstar is a
Take-Two.
fantastic game developer.
Open
Take-Two
Four.
is a greedy fucking publisher.
Open
Yeah.
4 is what it's called.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, I don't know if there was some miscommunication in the legal department. The actual DMCA itself had spelling errors, which is just great. That's really good in a legal document.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. Like overnight, Steam, the game went to overwhelmingly negative. So
Yeah,
I think
like
it has an 18%
instantaneously.
positive score right now.
Yeah.
In its recent, and the overall score's gone to mixed. So I think Take-Two has to do some sort of damage control or reverse their decision or something, because this really looks bad for a company that is typically very well respected. So
what they wanted was, this is exactly why there was some leaked conversation somewhere that I don't have a source for and probably isn't real. So don't jump
take
on
this
me
with
about
a grain of
source.
salt.
Take this with a grain of salt. But it sounds reasonable based on the shit that they're selling, basically. In GTA 5, or GTA Online, we're going to distinctify GTA 5 and GTA Online here. They're the same game, but GTA Online is a separate
entity.
Well,
it's fun
in
to play.
GTA Online, you can hack the game and vomit $500 quadrillion onto anybody you want.
Pretty much.
There are a lot of really problematic,
and people do that often.
Yeah.
Now, this would be fine, except that they sell you 1 million in-game dollars for $25, and people buy this.
Right.
But they figure that if somebody's able to just vomit $1 million onto you instantaneously, nobody's going to buy their $25 shit.
Or at least
so
less
they want
people
to
would.
less. So they want to eliminate all modding for all of their games, so that
because they
situations like that can't
understand
happen.
The purpose of Open
They
4
have
and how it works.
no idea.
Because the Open 4 is like very strongly protected against working in multiplayer. It has a lot of safeguards built into the code of it to protect itself from affecting the multiplayer. And it's really sad because the modding program really has so many safeguards to protect against like what is essentially happened to it. Like it's a lot of the code is reverse engineered so that it wouldn't violate copyright law in terms of source code. Like it's internal source code is protected, so random people don't have access to the source code of GTA. Like it seems to have done everything right and still got burned, and it's sucks.
The thing is, because of all of these safeguards that they've went up against, they might be able to keep it up if
they've
they
said,
but they are not going to.
Yeah, they've said in
every company everywhere can just bully people into doing whatever they want because companies have more money to buy lawyers with.
Well, so they've said that unless Take-Two puts out a statement that could be used against them legally, they intend not to fight it because it would take a lot of work and effort and money to get back to the same place that they were at. So as of now, I think they took down hosting it. They pushed a patch that asked everyone to uninstall it if they had it installed still.
Nobody's going to, but it's going to kill the modding scene anyway.
Right.
Like, if you still have, I was reading, if you still have it installed, all of your mods will still work. And they push a patch for it that asks you to uninstall it, but it's not going to.
It doesn't
kill
force
your
you
mods.
to, yeah.
But it will kill the modding scene for GTA 5 because nobody's going to make new mods because the only way to get it is off of some backwater.
It'll suppress the official modding scene as opposed to none of it is technically official, but the unofficial.
Like you're gonna have to
it'll turn it. Yeah, it'll turn into like people might still develop mods, but they're going to be shared on locked forums and closed forums and distributed through torrent sites, so it's going to be less open.
Which means that there's going to be less mods in general.
Yeah. It's going to be a chilling effect for sure.
Yeah. And you guys remember, this is Take-Two was doing some shit like this when the game first came out. Like, if you installed a mod for single player, they'd ban you in multiplayer because
Right.
they thought that people would be. And
'Cause
it's
they
like
were
they're
worried
not
about it.
banning the actual fucking hackers. They're
No.
just. Oh,
It's
God,
because they
Take-Two
can't
is
ban
so-
the hackers. The hackers are stronger than them.
And the sad
Yeah?
thing is that Rockstar has, like, Rockstar, as opposed to Take-Two, has promoted modders and has, like, linked on their official
Yeah.
blogs to really cool mods. So, like, it's just really sad that they're kind of pigeonholed into
Yeah.
doing this
Yeah.
because their publisher says so.
Oh, you know what was blatantly absent at E3, speaking of Rockstar? Red Dead 2.
Red Dead
They
2,
did
yeah.
announce
Yeah.
that they would not be at E3 leading up to E3
Yeah.
Huh.
And so
Okay.
did Death Stranding.
because
Death
they
Stranding
they
also
pushed
did
back.
announce that.
They delayed Red Dead
Game?
2 till next year.
Oh, okay.
So I think the current plan is Q1 2018.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Did you want to touch on your movie stuff in the last 5 minutes though?
Yeah, okay, I think I can get to it in 5 minutes. So I'm going to do it's going to be a little bit of a director spotlight, a tiny little bit of a director spotlight. He's only directed a couple movies. You probably fucking heard of him though because he got really big really quick. A guy named Colin Trevorrow. Yeah, the name sounds a little bit familiar. I'll tell you why in a second. The first movie he ever made was a movie that I saw called what was it? Oh yeah, Safety Not Guaranteed, based on that little newspaper clip. He made a whole movie about that, and it was so fucking bad. I hated it so much. It was the quintessential movie that I sort of think about when I think 20-something problem movies with characters that are quirky. And everyone fucking loved it, but I hated it. I couldn't fucking stand watching the goddamn piece of shit. And then the man came out. The very next movie he got he was hired on to direct Jurassic Park 2. I was sitting there in bated breath waiting for it to be shit. But thankfully that script was saved.
Jurassic Park 2?
Jurassic
Okay.
World, sorry, yeah.
I was like, fucking what?
So that's the one that isn't out yet?
No, that is the one that is out yet. I was waiting in bated
Jurassic
breath for it
World
to be shit.
1.
Yes, Jurassic World 1.
Okay.
Yes. He did release that movie, and it got pretty good reviews. It got sort of medium to high reviews. And I felt like the script was saved because I felt little bits of Colin Trevorrow in there, but not a lot of him. I felt like the other people who were writing it sort of constricted him, and I felt like that worked to the movie's benefit. So he recently released a passion project. What was this movie called, you ask? Well, let me fucking tell you. It was called The Book of Henry. Came out just this week. Went up against Cars 2. Of course lost to that because it's a fucking Pixar movie. They always make a shit ton of money.
Cars 2
And
came
so
out
sort
this
of
weekend?
yeah. So anyway,
Cars 2?
Or Cars...
3. Sorry, 3.
No, I think it
God,
might,
get your
I think it might
numbers
be higher
straight,
than
dog.
3.
No, it is 3. But yeah, The Book of Henry came out. And it is being absolutely fucking destroyed by critics for exactly the reason that I hated his other movie. I'm looking at Letterboxd right now. The top review is just a 1.5-star review that says 2 words. Jesus Christ.
Well,
And this man is unfortunately directing the 3rd Star Wars movie. And he's the one who's going to have to come up with all the shit because, like, Mark Hamill's talking about, it's like, J.J. Abrams started the first one and was like, I'm fucking out, you guys figure out the rest of this shit. The guy who's doing the second one is the guy who did fucking Looper. I'm kind of excited for that. He's a good
that's
director and
good.
knows
I
what
like
he's doing.
Looper.
Yeah,
So are
it's
you
like,
having a
he's
little
like,
bit of Schadenfreude, or are you just worried about Star Wars 3?
Well, I was worried
9.
about Star Wars 3 the instant I heard Trevorrow was going to be working on it, but I'm definitely having a moment of Schadenfreude.
Star Wars, the third of the new
9.
trilogy.
Oh,
Star Wars
yeah,
9.
Yeah, Star Wars fucking 9. Star Wars fucking 9. But yeah, oh god.
It's
I'm
3
just so
in the same way
happy.
that 6 was 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm so happy that the
Well,
book of
except that
Henry
one
is
was
getting
actually
ripped
called
apart.
Episode 3, but that's neither here nor there.
It's again, it's being ripped apart because it's like, holy shit, look at all these fucking incredibly quirky characters. Wow, this is
Well, I
bad.
think the
Colin
benefit
Trevorrow
of
can't write.
I think the benefit of Disney being very hands-on with their properties and writing a lot of their stuff by committee is if he does hack the script up, someone will fix it at some point.
That's true, I suppose.
So I'm less worried about that than other movies that he could be touching. because
Yeah.
Disney, and then also Marvel on this.
Yeah.
Not
Also,
to conflate the two, but both Disney and Marvel have been really good about fixing problems and throwing out multiple directors and still coming out with good movies somehow. So
Yeah.
look how many
well, and
directors fucking Ant-Man went through, and
Ant-Man
that
had.
turned out to be one of the better ones.
And I'm still really sad about that. But anyway, about it. Another thing that happened is the new Godzilla movie started shooting, and it's still being directed by the guy who directed Krampus. So good. I'm happy about that. He's a great director, and I feel like he's probably going to do good things with this property. He's going to make it nice and silly.
Did he direct the other reboot
No.
with Cranston in it?
No. That was Gareth Edwards. The fucking Gareth Edwards.
Okay, well I just didn't know if it was the same guy or not.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay. Hopefully it's good.
that's about it.
I liked the first one decently enough, so.
I didn't. I thought it was trash. Aside from the fact that it had Godzilla in it, that was the best part of the movie.
I wouldn't say it was trash. It was not a great film.
Well, here's the thing.
But-
I wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend it to people who wanted to see Godzilla in theaters, but then Shin Godzilla came out, so it's like I don't even give a fuck. If Godzilla wasn't in that movie, I would have been trashing on it like, oh, this movie is so fucking bad. It's like
Really quickly,
Yeah.
I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the show, but I saw Captain Underpants.
oh
Oh,
I
yeah.
fucking loved it. It was really
Good.
great. The animation was
good.
awesome. Like, somehow the movie managed to turn a 2-hour like fart and poop joke story
It was fun.
and make it good. I don't know. Like, oh man, I don't know how they did it, because it was like
Well, the books were always
every
actual
joke was so
quality.
spot on. It was like
Yeah.
the comedic timing was just perfect. That even though a lot of the humor was rather shallow, it was just like the timing was just perfect every time. It was so good.
Well, that's the thing. That's what sort of Captain Underpants has always been. It's been a story about two childhood
Yeah.
kids having fun
it
from
was,
their
it was
perspective,
like
and it's like
lowbrow
written
on
like
purpose.
this.
So like it
Yeah.
wasn't lowbrow in the same way as like Sausage Party was, but it was definitely like
Yeah.
it was definitely still a kids movie too. But man, it was really great. And but this is coming from someone who liked the original books and read them as a kid, so if
Same. So
I
I haven't seen it yet, and I'm excited.
I really
Did they do a
recommend it.
fliporama?
Yeah,
They did do a fliporama.
Good.
I do remember that. I
man,
did hear about that.
It was one of those things where, like, it had been so long that I didn't remember that was a thing until it was happening in the movie. And I was like, oh yeah, it was great. I loved it.
I loved flipораmas.
Yeah.
And the animation was really good. It was a weird blend between like 2D and 3D. And they also had a lot of sections that had alternate animation styles. Really great. I really recommend it for anyone who enjoys animation. So, solid. I'd say full price on that, honestly.
Cool.
If you like
Shit.
animation. So,
Yep.
cool.
Yeah.
Alright.
So that's it for us this week. We'll see you guys next time.
Okay. Bye.